It's your girl Amanda, and we're back with another episode of Thompson and Stuff. You know me, I know y'all, so let's get into it. Happy July. I know people are probably looking at your podcast, playlist and be like, well, damn, she popped up after all this time. Listen, this time is not in life's fault. I'm enjoying life right now. But we can thank YouTube for that. So I have been putting out YouTube videos of reviews of different movies and TV shows and documentaries and stuff like that, and it's been pretty time consuming. I love it, but it takes a while. So thank you guys so much for supporting the YouTube channel. It's been growing. Still no subscribers, but I'm just starting, so hopefully the subscribers will build up over time. But I've hit 2.5 hours of watch time on there, so that's pretty big to me. And I think I'm almost at like 140 watches or views. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Happy July. It's officially July 1st. It's summer. It's hot outside. It's 4th of July weekend. So I actually have the entire week. Well, not the entire weekend. I'm gonna be a little busy Monday, but Tuesday and Wednesday I'm free. So all weekend, maybe Monday and Tuesday, I'll just be eating stuff. Barbecue and potato salad, pasta salad. I just ate like this really good pasta salad, so I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to eat. But let's get into the episode. Let's talk about stuff. I know a lot has been going on. I do want to start with this big story in Chicago where the mother and the son was charged with, I think, murder because, well, here's the story. So the young man was getting something to eat at a Maxwell Street in the West Pullman area, and here in Chicago, the West Pullman area is it's on the south side, so it's not too far from where I live in the suburbs. And I've seen the video, and I made the mistake of not really reading the description, but from what I see, it was a young man. He was probably about my age, probably a couple years younger, or probably a couple years older. He kind of got irate with this old lady, and he started putting his hands on her, which we all know as human beings that, like, you don't put your hands on anyone. Also, as a man, you don't put your hands on a woman. Somehow, I think it was the son. I could be very wrong because, again, I really didn't read the story, but I saw the video surface on social media that her son, her 14-year-old son, shot the guy. And they were arrested and they were charged with murder, but the charges were later dropped because it was obvious. Like, as I've watched the video like 3 times in one setting, it was very obvious it was self-defense. Like, this young man put his hands on his mother. Of course, he's defending his mother. And, the aftermath of it is pretty disturbing. I mean, except the fact that, they got the charges dropped and no one's going to jail because it was self defense. But I see the young man's family, the victims, well, air quote victims family, wearing these t shirts saying knockout king and all that stuff. That is so weird to me. So, um, and people were saying, yes, the charges were dropped, but she needs to move out of Chicago. And I think she does too. She needs a fresh start. And, like, it's the embarrassing thing of people who don't live here, who live probably in New York or down in Miami or Atlanta or just wherever, and they look at us and they just think it's like we're a terrible city. So I think she deserves a second chance to, get out the city, live somewhere peaceful. Her and her son. He's still fairly young too. He's what, 14? He could complete high school somewhere else and grow and go to college and all that stuff outside of Chicago. But good for them that they got acquitted and they're not in any major trouble. So that's been surfacing around the city. And also, speaking of surface, the air quality in Chicago was terrible these past couple weeks. So if you guys don't know, there was like a wildfire up in Canada, and it was traveling south to New York and all that stuff. And that's why in New York, the sky was the color of piss, basically. And I guess they're still burning up in Canada because it's coming towards Detroit, Wisconsin, Indianapolis, I think Ohio. It hit us in Illinois real bad. I was affected by it myself because I was driving home. I went to the store Monday night, and I was driving, and my eyes started to hurt to a point where I thought I was gonna go blind. I was driving down the street, and you know, if you drive down the street, you know people walking down the street, the pedestrians or whatever. So these kids were walking down the street, and they were crossing the street too. And of course, me being a careful driver that I am, I wanted to make sure they got to one side of the street to the other safely. But I looked them in their faces, and I couldn't really see their faces. It was like if you were a 90s baby like me, and you know your cable goes out, or you know you are switching from VCR to cable, or you're trying to play your video games on channel 3, whatever. I looked at their faces, and that's what I kind of saw because I was being affected by the bad air quality. My eyes were hurting. I had a really bad headache. I was talking to people around me. One person said she was had a sore throat. She was coughing bad. My mom, she said she had a headache. She was coughing really bad. So it's been going on all week, but today, since today is Saturday, it has cleared up a little better. It's still a little cloudy outside. Honestly, I haven't seen the sun shine in a few days, so I guess it's still being affected up there. But I don't know what's going on in Canada, and I don't know why they're not maintaining it, and how the heck is this crossing over country borders? Like, this is crazy, like really, really crazy. But yeah, so that's been going on here. And then also, did y'all see about the submarine group of people going down there, and that cheaply, and I want to say it's cheaply made submarine, because how do you, I think submarines are really supposed to be like super steel or something, and you know, equipped with things for survival. I cannot believe that, you know, people are dead. I mean, people have been making like fun of on it on TikTok and stuff, but unfortunately, those people are deceased on the boat. I think it was a bad decision, and I think this is also a product of rich people having too much time and resources on their hands. I mean, I understand, you know, people say when I get rich, I want to make all my childhood dreams come true. Great, good for you. But that one right there was just a little extreme, and yeah, sorry about that. Rest in peace. But they also said that it was controlled by a PlayStation controller. I I I wish that was not true, because how can you control something so large with a PlayStation controller? But okay, that's neither here nor there. So I'm just gonna move on from that story, because the details of it just looked weird. Like, I don't want to get into it. Congratulations to Kourtney Kardashian. She is finally, because they've been trying forever to have a baby, but she is finally pregnant by her husband, Travis Barker. It's a boy. They had their gender reveal and everything. It was kind of like a rocker thing, but it's a boy. That's her fourth child, and then that's his fourth child too. So they're gonna have 8 kids together. And you know, I'm so team blended family. I'm so serious when I say that. I am. So altogether they're gonna have 8 kids, which is the cutest thing ever. I'm not a fan of Kardashians anymore, but that Kourtney got her happy ending. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Kourtney got her happy ending, because if you guys remember, like the beginning episodes of the Kardashians when it was on not Hulu, and she was with Scott, and you know she was miserable, and then as the season progressed and stuff, you know, she got more miserable, and she finally left him, and then she dated that one model guy that was so mean to her, and then she left him, and then finally got with Travis. So she got her happily ever after, and her wedding was pretty cute too. I didn't see the episode where they got married on Hulu, because I didn't really bother. But I saw the dress and stuff, and how it was her style and not like the typical style like her sisters had. Like, y'all remember when Chloe got married, she had Vera Wang, she had all this floofy white stuff all over the place, and then it was purple and white because of course she married a Laker. And yeah, like, and then when Kim got married twice, so we remember the first wedding to that one basketball player where it was real bougie and all that stuff. and then she married Kanye West in France. Like, who does that? So it was something different from what we used to see on the show. Also, congratulations to Chrissy Teigen. She surprised us with this one now. She actually announced that she didn't give birth. She had a surrogate give birth to her fourth child. So I honestly think they deserve that too, because if y'all don't remember, she had a stillborn baby, Jack, and then I think she got pregnant again. She had another daughter, and then they got another surrogate for another baby. So congratulations, Chrissy. I love Chrissy Teigen because she's not like these real celebrities, like not real celebrities, but she's not like these celebrities out here that just, sugarcoat, sugar paint, and all that stuff. She's real like that. So congratulations. Um, Tyler Perry buys BET. Let me take a sip of my water. All right. So people have been asking me how I've been feeling about this ever since the news came out. A high percentage of me is very happy for Tyler Perry because Tyler Perry is one of my idols. Like, if there was no Tyler Perry, and if there was no Tyler Perry to watch, there would be no me and what I want to do in my life. I'm so happy for him. I hope he does well and turn BET around, turn it around to a point where it doesn't feel like it gives Viacom vibes, like for us by us, give us that vibe. But at the same time, I just hope Tyler doesn't make BET totally about Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, we want more original programming. We have a great original programming on BET. We got games people play, which I don't know when that's coming back. That needs to come back because that's a really good show. Sisters, I've never seen that show before, but people tell me all the time how good it is, and it's a Tyler Perry show. Um, and of course, the BET Awards, all those programmings. Now, I don't want Tyler to just come in and flip everything to be Tyler Perry. I don't want everything to be Sisters, House of Pain, Have and Have Not reruns. None of that. We want BET to be better. I'm sorry. Yes, BET to be better. I got confused because also he bought VH1. So I think VH1 needs more work than BET, in my opinion, because VH1 needs to clean up the whole Love and Hip Hop situation. Now, if you guys watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, which is out right now or on air, you would see that that's now on MTV. So VH1 needs to be cleaned up. Maybe I can't pick Tyler Perry's mind. I've never met Tyler Perry. I don't have access to him to ask this, but maybe he can like reverse at VH1 to what it was back in the 90s, like before reality TV came out. Switch it back to when Behind the Music came on and all these video shows, like stuff like that. Maybe he has the power to do that. That would be a great idea. Video Hits One. That's what it stands for. I don't see how Love and Hip Hop can be affiliated with Video Hits One. I don't. I don't see how. Well, I didn't see it back then, but I don't see how, like, I Love Money and I Love our Flavor of Love. How did that hit videos? I don't understand. So Tyler, he has that. Where I'm going with this is that he has the power to change the face of VH1, because for the past 10 years since Love and Hip Hop came out, because Love and Hip Hop Atlanta came out, I was in high school. Love and Hip Hop New York came out, I was a sophomore in high school, because I remember seeing Joe Budden on there after not seeing Joe Budden since 2003. So I had to be about 15. So VH1 has the power to be changed. I'm sorry. VH1 has the power to be changed, and BET has the power to be upgraded for more of us, because one of us owns it now. So that, and the BET Awards was on. I did not watch it. I saw clips of it. Um, I did not know it was coming on because, as we all know, there is a writer strike out, and I don't see no other award shows on. So how did they pull off BET Awards with no host? I'll never know. Two situations that stuck out to me that I've heard, of course, Patti LaBelle messing up the Tina Turner tribute. I saw a TikTok. This young lady, she put up a TikTok. She was sitting, when you watch these like award shows and you look down in the front, not where the celebrities sit, where like, back in the day Beyonce used to sit at, but like in the crowd where the people be hyping stuff when people perform. A young lady did a TikTok. She was sitting in that section, and she and her whole section was sitting in front of the teleprompter. So Auntie Patty couldn't really see the words. Like, I know Auntie Patty is Patty LaBelle, and When You've Been Blessed, and oh, if you only you knew how much I do, I truly love you. Yeah, but sometimes these singers don't remember all these songs. So you gotta remember that. Like, maybe it's eight. I mean, I don't want to say it's 80 because Patti LaBelle looks fabulous for 79 years old. But she needed that teleprompter and it was blocked. It's simple. Like, if you really pay attention to things like that behind the scenes, it's not hard. She couldn't see the teleprompter. So I'm not mad at her. I don't think y'all should be either. And like how society works, y'all kind of will forget about it. Because are y'all still mad at Rich Homie Quan for messing up the Biggie tribute? How long ago was that? Exactly. And then Busta Rhymes, of course, got his Lifetime Achievement Award. I mean, I think it's perfect timing because Busta Rhymes came out in what, 92, 93, so 30 years ago. Um, but he's done a lot of work over the years, of course. If you remember, Busta Rhymes came out in 96 with Woo-Ha, Got You All in Check, and then Where My Eyes Can See, and then that one album with the Mariah Carey song, and then the Big Bang, and then the Conglomerate, and all that stuff. So he deserved that. I did watch the acceptance speech. It's on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube for putting out like the pieces, because some people these days just don't want to sit through an entire, award show, or they just didn't know due to the writer's strike. But all in all, Busta looked great. He cried. He gave a 13-minute speech because they told him to do two. But you know what, y'all? You know what I think? And I've been saying this for years, that I think Busta Rhymes gives the best hugs, because I always tell this story. So I think it was the Grammys or something, and it was Lionel Richie. He was getting an award, and Busta Rhymes was sitting right behind Lionel Richie, and he stood up and he gave Lionel Richie a big bear hug, like a big, like not even a church hug. It was just a hug. And then Lionel, he embraced it and stuff, and then he went up on stage and accepted his award. But just the way it looked, he hugged Lionel Richie. So I like his energy. I always love Busta Rhymes. I grew up on Busta Rhymes, so I just love that energy. So congratulations, Bus, Uncle Bus. People that call him Uncle Bus, but yeah. Tori and Dean, they getting a divorce, and I'm sorry to say this because y'all know I love love and I love couples and I love happy families and all that stuff. But I think I'm not surprised because honestly, Tori was long suffering. And speaking from personal experience, I know what long suffering looks like. I'm not dumb. And I think they should have done it a long time ago. Because if y'all remember back in like 2011, and this show is on Tubi, so I don't know if y'all should still go back and watch it, but True Tori. Y'all remember True Tori, right? So this was around the time when Dean came out. He was cheating on Tori with somebody, and it was out. It was in the press and all that stuff. And Tori cameras were following Tori. It was 2 seasons, and that should have been alarming. Cameras were following Tori as she was like, living her life, raising her kids. She kept moving houses. Like, I never understood that either. Because isn't she, and I'm not trying to kick nobody down, but, you know, we did hear her about having money problems because, well, not really problems, but I don't want to say it was her mother being selfish because y'all know who her father is. Her father is Aaron Spelling, who created, 90210 and all that stuff. So I some rumors of her mother being selfish, withholding the money, and then they said, "Oh, Aaron left her this amount actually, and left Candy this amount, and blah blah blah." But Tori was long suffering. She was crying on camera. She was arguing with Dean. Dean looked miserable. So, I think this was in the making since True Tori came out. And I hope, if this is true, that Tori can breathe now. Because no one deserves to live in long suffering. It affects you mentally, it affects you physically, it affects you inside. So just again, I love couples, happy families, but sometimes there are times where people don't need to be together. And honestly, Tori and Dean, y'all don't need to be together. Tori needs to be happy. Dean needs to get his life together because he always looked like he's an angry drunk. So get that together, y'all. Come on, get that together. Kimora and Russell's drama. So that's going on. So, um, it all started when the oldest Simmons daughter posted a Happy Father's Day to Kimora Lee Simmons, and Russell posted this other photo in response, and then yeah, and then the ship blew up. But then what? I just remembered when before I started talking about this was when Justin Combs, Diddy's oldest son, with Misa Hilton, got arrested for DUI, and Misa ran to social media and was saying some stuff, and then Kimora was like, "Oh, are we talking now? Or not like beef between them, but are we like expressing ourselves and telling the truth?" That's when that popped off, where Kimora went on Facebook Live and said, "I've known Russell since I was in high school and blah blah blah, and Russell's been harassing us and all that stuff." So I didn't believe that Russell was harassing Kimora. Now the whole sexual allegations situation, I had like my, not reservations, but I kind of had a feeling that those were true because how the hell did all these women come out and make this HBO documentary, all that stuff. So I believe the women, but the relationship with Kimora and how they said that, oh, that's fake and all that stuff, because Kimora, from what I saw after Russell and them got divorced years ago, I always saw them have a united front. So I was like, wow, that's been really going on. And then what's her name? I get them mixed up. I'm sorry. Aoki Lee released a video of Russell yelling at her on FaceTime. I guess the thing with iPhones, and I've never tried this, and I have an iPhone, is that when you screen record someone on FaceTime, it's silent. So it's basically him just look like he's yelling. It's obvious he's yelling, but you can't really make out to what he's saying with his mouth. You know what I mean? And she was on social media crying, saying, "You were the best dad." I'm paraphrasing. Don't say I. Well, she didn't say it. She basically saying, you are the best dad, and then after everything, you're losing your mind. She also hinted that he might be going through dementia, just all that stuff, and that's pretty crazy. How the celebrity world is not what you think it is, even in celebrity families, and that's pretty sad. And I also want to know, how is Rev Run dealing with this? Because if you guys don't know, Russell Simmons is Reverend Run's brother. They were on each other's reality shows at one point. So I wonder how he, a peaceful man of God, is handling all of this. And because I don't follow Reverend on social media, I haven't done that in years. So I don't know if he's been like quiet and all that stuff from this, but it's still messed up. And I think it's nasty that, Russell was going after Kimora at 16. Now, I've said this before, and people came at me, well, you date older men and blah, blah, blah. Yes, I've dated older men, but I met them when I was in my 20s. I'm in my late 20s. I started, and I've said this on this podcast before, I started dating older men when I was like 27. That's a good age. So I don't want to, I'm tired of people coming at me saying I'm a hypocrite and blah, blah, blah. No, he met her at 16. That is insane and crazy. And people were like, I don't know who was for the relationship. And whoever was for the relationship, that's not good. Because I heard also somewhere that Tyra Banks was like anti against the relationship. She was trying to knock some sense into her. Tyra, you should have tried harder, honestly. Now that this is all going on, so it's. I think they fell out to a point where it's not fixable, and I don't think they really want to fix it. So, wow, wow, it's sad. It's honestly sad. Before I continue, I do want to send my thoughts to Tax Stone. If you guys don't know who Tax Stone is, he's a podcaster. He had a show on Loud Network, I think, with Combat Jack, and then unfortunately, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, he was involved in the shooting at Irving Plaza in New York with the rapper Troy Avenue. Someone did unfortunately pass away, and Taxstone was a felon and he got caught with a gun and everything, so they did lock him up for some time. So Taxstone, I'm so sorry, and I send my thoughts to you. Also, Quavo and Offset have reunited. There was like some sort of picnic or something in honor of Takeoff, and they were there. They looked like they were interacting with each other, which is good. They also did perform on the BET Awards. I forgot, that's another part I did see, where one was standing on one side and the other was standing on the other side, and then there was like this big heavenly light between them. So that was very nice of them, to how they would remember their brother. But you know what's crazy? And I didn't know this until he actually said in an interview that Offset is not really related to the Migos. Takeoff and Quavo, they're related. I think they're uncle and nephew. But Offset's not blood. But they've been around each other since they were teenagers. So sometimes, blood isn't family. You could be around that family for years and be a part of the family. And as the term says, be like family, but you are family. So it did surprise me to learn that, but it's like at the same time, in my eyes, it doesn't change anything because you've been around that family for years. You are like family. And also, Takeoff's mother sues the venue where her son was killed. I think she should have, because now that I think about it, they didn't have security at the where they were and all that stuff. So she had every right to do that. Did anybody see the Duggars documentary and how crazy that documentary is? So, I've never seen an episode of the Duggars. They used to come on TLC. They got like, what, 18 children or something. First of all, how did Michelle Duggar push out 18 kids? Because and she's a small woman. Because of course, we all know this. Having a baby does change the woman's body. Blah blah blah. But I look at her now and see how small she is and stuff. I don't know, but according to the documentary, that some of the stuff is fake. I also heard that how Michelle Duggar talks. She talks like this, and children. That's not real. Someone said that on that documentary. That is not real. And then they had this thing. I forgot what it was called. I used to know. Oh, blanket time, where they would put their favorite toy in front of a child, and if the child is tempted to reach for the toy, they get popped or hit or whatever. And I don't understand that because they're children and their brains don't register to what the hell you're doing. That's why I am so anti church cult, because it's just weird stuff like this. it, I first of all, if all this was going on, why did TLC give him a show? Only because I bet TLC only saw dollar signs. Swear. I swear to y'all that's what it is. Because the Duggars have all these children, they saw dollar signs. And then the older Duggar children, they weren't paid to be on camera until they got older. And then what happened? They get paid minimum wage. Absolutely not. Like, that whole documentary was weird. Why I didn't do a review on it on my YouTube channel, because it was 4 episodes, and knowing me and how I watch TV, um, I didn't pay full attention, but I did listen, and it was a lot of information, a lot of weirdness, a lot of just Ew. And then not only that, but then their oldest son, their firstborn son, is in prison for child pornography. That family is a lot. And what makes me happy is that the older children are now realizing the world, and I hope some of y'all know what that means. Realizing the world to me means what is actually right and wrong outside of what they were raised to believe, i.e., church cults. And some of them are living great lives. I mean, one has a family and they moved out of the house. I know one married a professional soccer player. Like, they realizing the world, which brings a sigh of relief to me. Um, yeah, that was a traumatizing documentary, and y'all know I love documentaries, but some things are just too freaking traumatizing for me. And lastly, did you guys see how Babyface got kicked off the Anita Baker tour? Guess what? Because Auntie being petty, it was because of Babyface's fans. The fans were doing all the dirty work. So that's like the Beehive getting, I don't know, some R&B singer kicked off the Renaissance tour. Like, it was his fans. Why are you letting people who you don't know get to you? Who is writing for someone, your colleague or whoever, and you're letting that get to you? I just don't, I don't understand that. And then you punish someone, and Babyface, I've never met Babyface, but I've seen him in interviews. I've seen him in the verses. I watch interviews of people who know Babyface. He just don't seem like the dude to bring drama. Like, he's a cool dude. Like, but you're punishing his fans. Like, I mean, she is an older celebrity, so she does have a little bit more time on her hands than, I don't know, like Beyonce or all these other people who don't have time to be sitting and looking at their phones and reading comments and being on Twitter and stuff. But why would you punish Babyface? It's fans. Like, just accept the criticism and keep it pushing, but you don't have to punish Babyface for it. But at the end of the day, Babyface is fine. I think he's going on another tour. He has another show or something, so he moves on. But it's just, I'm on the outside looking in, like, you're punishing fans. You're punishing, and you're taking income away. I mean, he's Babyface. He's been like hella songs, and he's got like publishing and royalties and all that stuff. He's Babyface. He's fine, but it's like you're still innocently you're punishing the innocent for something that a group of people, who I can't say don't pay your bills, because of course when you buy a ticket, when you buy a song, album, blah blah blah, you are paying their bills. So I don't want to say that, but you're letting something that you cannot control your mind and just making you make bad decisions. So I still thought that was messed up. Um, the next thing I do want to talk about is this Chica and Zani baby situation. And I do see this question a lot on Facebook. So I want to start with this situation. So this rapper Chica, I don't know who she is. You guys gotta understand. I don't really listen to today's rap. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I don't know these people. I don't like their image that they're portraying to these kids. I don't pay attention. But this young lady, Chica, she was on a plane, and there was, sorry, this is my neighbor. He has a bad engine or something. So if you hear that, my bad. But she basically got on a plane somewhere. I don't know where, but it's weird because on the plane too was the baby of Zanique. So if you guys don't know who Zanique is, she's the stepdaughter of Ti and Tiny's real daughter. I think it was a cousin that had the baby or something. And you know what babies do is cry and get scared and have anxiety. Yes, babies have anxiety too. And basically, this Chica rapper lady went on social media and basically said, "Shut that B up," pertaining to the baby. Just saying all these evil things about a baby, an innocent baby. And honestly, guys, I've seen this one time too many outside of the Chica situation. I probably got on this podcast and said it before, but I swear to y'all, I hate seeing it. It's like people go on there and call and make these memes and call babies bald headed and ugly and all this stuff. And it's just me because maybe I am so super sensitive, or maybe I just have common sense to know to not talk about somebody's kids. But she went on social media. She called this baby all types of everything except a child of God. Never saw this baby in her life. Just wanted the baby to be quiet. You know what? This reminds me of that one TikTok where this young lady made, and I probably talked about this too because I'm irritated because I keep seeing this on the internet. I keep seeing how people will choose to mistreat a child, and or choose to or does, and just it really annoys me. And this is where I'm going with this. I was on Facebook. I was on Facebook a couple weeks ago. I've seen this twice on my timeline. And there was a question that asked, would you give up your seat for a mother to basically have her baby sit next to her? And there were people like, nope, I paid for this seat and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And no, I don't want to give up my seat and this and that and the third. Now, ask me that question. I would gladly give up my seat. Because what people don't understand, they said a child, right? Children naturally have separation anxiety from their parents. Oh, wait, hold on. They're children. So you want your child to sit next to a stranger. Sit next to old man Allen. I don't, just making up names. You want a child to sit next to old man Allen. He looks harmless. But old man Allen might be a predator who's never been caught. And you want your child to sit next to that, or, to the person who won't, you want a child to sit next to that and something could potentially happen to them. And I hate to think like this, but that's the world we live in. And you don't want to protect this woman's child. You don't want her to have her child feel safe. You're weird. And people are like, well, I paid for it. I get it. You paid for it, but this is a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes I also read, because I travel, I've traveled once a year. And I fly Southwest, and on Southwest you do get to pick. So I never really experienced, oh, I paid for this seat, so I'm not giving up my seat. But it's like at the same time, dog, like, dude, person, sir, ma'am, this is a baby, this is a child. Like, their mother is sitting over there, right across from them. Okay, great. They can see their baby, but dude, this world is fucking crazy. Like, there are crazy people out here. Why would you not do that for the safety of their child? You're weird as hell, and I look at you different if you do answer, no, I won't give it up because I paid for it, blah, blah, blah. At this point, it's a little child. That child could be 5, 6, 7 years old. I would, if the child is under the age of 12, or, yeah, 12, I would definitely give up my seat because people are crazy. People are sick. People are weird. So it's not that hard. But back to Chica and calling this child types of names. I see it on the internet all the time. I see it all the time. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off that we're having this debate of, of do you want children or not, and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. I probably, I keep saying this. I probably keep saying this. I know y'all probably sick of me here saying it. But since when did we start having this war on the internet where, if you don't want to have kids, you force these people you give them these weird reasons to have kids? That's common. That is very common. But what also kills me is that people don't talk about the people who come at the people who want children. And I have been a victim of that one time too many. One time too many that people have came at me because I definitely want children. I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to have a big family. I want the house where all the kids come over. I want that big house of love. That's what I truly want. But there are always people out there that are saying, why would you want that? Kids are stressful. Kids are this. Kids are that. Well, for you, maybe you don't want that. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine if you don't want that. But I want that. And I knew I wanted that in my heart since I had an emergency situation involving a kid that was okay. Well, I had a miscarriage when I was 19. And it's not a simple thing to talk about. I totally get that. I learned it as I got older. And ever since ever since that happened to me, that's when I knew I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to have the house full of. And years and years and years, even after that has happened to me, people would still come at me and say, "Well, why would you want that?" and all that stuff. And to me, people are very weird who think like that. So, what I'm trying to say in this rant, because I'm just so tired of coming on my platform and just saying this, if people want to have kids, let them have kids. People don't want to have kids. Of course, we have to say, if that's what they don't want, let them express what they don't want. But for the people who don't want that, let the people who want that, let them have it. Don't call babies ugly. I think every time I just look at this world, we're losing common sense every day. And I'm not saying everybody's losing common sense. I'm just looking and I'm like, you're not supposed to say that about someone. You're not supposed to do that about someone. So that's just my rant. I do want to move on from that. I am fine. I'm okay now, but it's just I get so frustrated hearing and seeing that on the internet all day long. Shout out to Pat Sajak, the host of Wheel of Fortune. He is getting ready to retire. That's how I know I'm getting old. Pat Sajak's retiring, and now they did announce his replacement. It ain't nobody else but Ryan Seacrest. Ryan Seacrest done hosted American Idol. He's hosted this. He's hosted that, but now he's he's getting ready to host Wheel of Fortune. But you know what is? I'm not surprised because if you guys don't remember, Ryan Seacrest used to host not Good Morning America, but he was he hosted. I want to call it Kelly and Regis so bad because I'm so old, but he was hosting that show. Then he announced that he was leaving that show, and then when you host live with Regis and whoever, Regis Kelly, Mike, whatever, you moved to New York. So he quit the show and he moved back to LA where he lived all these years. So now it makes sense that he has the hosting gig of Ryan Seacrest. What do I think how he'll do? I'm sure he'll do great because he did great with all the other shows he did. So shout out to Ryan Seacrest. Gangsta Boo's cause of death did come out. She died of a drug overdose. I have no comment because we don't know what goes on in people's lives when they're not in the spotlight. So, rest in peace, Gangsta Boo. I'm so sorry that has happened to you. Shannon Sharp leaves undisputed. It was never explained why to me, but I think Shannon Sharp's gonna be okay because, of course, he has Club Shay Shay. If you guys watch those interviews, listen to that podcast. Really good, and he has like all these other endorsements and stuff going on, so he'll be fine. Um, I know y'all were probably listening to the last section and thought, "Oh, did she catch a blank?" No, my brother FaceTimed me to see what I was doing, but I had to take that call. But I'm fine. But let's move on. So recently on YouTube, Tupac's father, Billy Garland, is on there doing an interview, and I've never seen Billy Garland what he looked like today in 2023. And y'all, Tupac looked just like his dad. You know, he looks just like his dad. Like the nose, the eyes, the ears, the facial features, all that stuff. So, Tupac's father, Billy Garland, is on Art of Dialogue. Again, I always shout out the Art of Dialogue. I like them better than I like Vlad TV because Vlad TV kind of feels, you know, FBI ish, interrogation ish. But the Art of Dialogue, it feels more natural and stuff. And Billy Garland was on there just basically telling his story of his relationship with his son, how he wasn't in his life for some years, and how him and Tupac interacted with each other. And then what I also learned is how he lives his life post Tupac. He does have some health issues. I think he has COPD, he had cancer, and all that stuff. And for me to talk about this, I just have one question. We all know that the Tupac Foundation took care of Afeni Shakur, but My question is, and I'm not asking how much money or anything, I just simply want to know, is Mr. Garland being taken care of by his estate too? He had all these health issues. He had cancer. He has COPD, and if you guys know anyone with cancer or COPD, you would know that those are very serious and seriously expensive medical issues. When you have cancer, um, some insurance companies don't cover everything, and also um, treatments costs and all that stuff. So he looks healthy, and some things, we learned that were kind of twisted in the media by a Feeney or by Tupac. And I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not in that family, but I just want to know if he's being taken care of by the Tupac estate, because obviously Tupac estate rakes in a lot. You got merchandise, you got movies, you got TV, you have did I say music? Because with Snoop buying Death Row and getting all those publishing back for Machiavelli's 7 Day Theory, All Eyes on Me, Are You Still Down? I just hope he's being taken care of, because he is what Tupac has left family wise. I mean, yeah, he had Kidada, but I don't think she needed to be taken care of, and they weren't legally married. And then he had his ex-wife Keisha Morris. We don't really know where she is these days, so I just hope he's really taken care of. He's sad. Speaking of Tupac, congratulations, Tupac. He got a Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame. Obviously, he got it posthumously. Big Boy was there. YG was there. My baby DJ Quick was there to accept or to see it be put in. So it was really nice and very late. I think Tupac should have got this like 10 years ago, like right around the time Tupac Resurrection came out. I think he should have gotten it then, because that's when we really started honoring Tupac. After Tupac Resurrection, then all these other Tupac documentaries came out. Dear Mama, The Death Row Chronicles, all that stuff. So I think Tupac Resurrection should have just set everything off right then and there. Congratulations to Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. They are in their late 70s and they just had a baby. It's very possible. I mean, men can have babies at any age, so congratulations to them. I know, I think they both have boys. Yeah, they both have boys by younger women, so congratulations to them. Scottie Pippen has been saying some Michael Jordan comments. I don't think, I think it's from a place of, Mike, your son is dating my ex-wife around my kids and all that stuff. Cause before that they used to love being around each other, and then after Larsa got with his son, I think it was what, Marcus or Jeffrey or one of them. Yeah, like all them comments, like he couldn't play, he sucked, and all that stuff. They just started popping up. So I think if anything goes more sour between Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, we have Larsa Pippen to thank. So that's just my opinion. Speaking of basketball, Carmelo Anthony retires. Now, y'all know I used to love Carmelo Anthony. I used to watch every Nuggets game until he left the Nuggets to go to the Knicks. But I think he should have done this a long time ago. Carmelo got drafted in 2003. I was 8. I'm going to be 29. Like, he should have stopped it at like 19 years. Like, I don't know what you were holding on to, because remember, he was going from Oklahoma City, New York, Denver. Well, he went from Denver to New York to Oklahoma City to Portland, and then he went to Portland to LA. And I think and he wasn't doing as much. Like, you guys got to remember back in the day when Melo was at with the Nuggets, he was putting up the numbers before. Oh, when Allen Iverson was there, he was putting up numbers. When Chauncey Billups was there, he was putting up numbers. But now, like, he got older, he started switching more teams. Like, the magic just wasn't there, and he should have done it then. Dwayne Wade did it, so I don't know what he was scared of. But now we're looking at LeBron James like, so what's next for you? Because they were all in the same draft class over there dressed in Steve Harvey suits. So that's how I know I'm getting old. He's retiring. I almost cried when Allen Iverson retired, but I was 1 and I don't really remember him doing like being drafted. But Melo is almost 40 or is 40. I don't know. Well, no, he's 39 because he was born in 84. So this should have been done a long time ago, but congratulations. I don't have to worry about him either because he has his like wine show on YouTube and all that stuff. He'll probably be an analyst too. That's where they all go after they play in the NBA. And speaking of retired ball players, I was gonna wait to get into this later, but Jalen Rose, Jeff Van Gundy, and Keyshawn Johnson. It's another guy there. I don't know his name, and he's not really relevant in my world, but no offense. But I know those guys. They all been let go from ESPN. Now they are saying they're letting them go to save money. Um, we all know that like in this day and age, nobody's really watching cable, and ESPN is a cable channel. And with people cutting their cords, it kind of affects the channels too. And I think ESPN is old school. When they're not playing sports centers like 5,000 times a night, they play like the old people sports, bowling, and all this other sports that nobody really watches. I think FS1 caters more towards the young people. Of course, with Shannon Sharp being there, but now he's gone. He left undisputed. I don't know who's going to be replaced, but I think FS1 when Shannon Sharp was there, or he could possibly get another show with FS1, just not with Skip. You know what I'm saying? So they're probably. I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and Joe said that they'll probably bring them over to FS1 because again, it caters to the young people. We know who's on FS1. We know Shannon Sharp. We know Skip Bayless. We know who all the other people are, and it might work better than for them because Jalen Rose, he's kind of for the young people too. Keyshawn Johnson, I think about it, he could go to FS1 or he could go to NFL Network. Just saying. And Jeff Van Gundy, I think he should go back to coaching. His brother used to coach. He should go back to coaching. But yeah, ESPN is kind of like falling apart and nobody really watches them. I don't watch them. I haven't watched ESPN. And I used to want to work for ESPN. But as I got older, I grew to have different interests. So I hope they do. I'll go somewhere else where they're like treated better. The Idol. You guys watch The Idol? I liked the show when it first came on TV, but then as episodes, it's only been 5 episodes, so probably it's going to be 5 episodes. It was 6, but they decided to pull the plug after 5. So tomorrow, the last episode is going to be on TV, and they said that they're pulling the plug because of accusations of torment sex. So last week's episode was kind of cringy to watch. It was one scene, I think it was the end, where The Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp, I don't know their real names. I'm supposed to because I watch the show, but I just call them by their actual names. But they were in the recording studio, and Lily Rose Depp, did not, I guess, have no motivation to record something. And basically, the Weeknd tied her eyes up and basically started finger banging her in front of everybody. Now, I am all about sex and all that stuff, and I kind of do like to be finger banged, but I don't want to be fingered in front of everybody. That's weird to me. And she was getting turned on by it and everything, but it's just in front of people. And then I remember, I think her name is Davina Joy Rudolph or something. She was the lady who played Trey Barker's nemesis in the OG, the last OG, and she did a really good job in that. And I'm mad that TBS, why did you cancel the last OG? I'll never know. But she did her part in that show. And she said this is some freaky shit. And no, I don't think it was her that said that she got assaulted, but basically she did get assaulted in front of everybody. And it was very cringy to watch. And I know like HBO is known for having like their porn and all that stuff, but that should not be put in a video. So, and then it's made by the same person who made Euphoria, but I've never seen something like that in Euphoria. I mean, Euphoria kind of has something similar, but a little bit more G-rated, So I'm not surprised that they took it off, We don't need another show like that. Sorry, weekend. And lastly, oh, let me get some water. Um, well, not lastly, but second to last, and I'll let y'all go. Kim Zolciak is coming out. She's getting a divorce and all this crazy drama. Kim Zolciak owes Target money. Now, I'm not trying to kick nobody down, but I think she should really wake up if you owe Target money. If you guys don't know, you can get a credit card with Target, and she hasn't been really paying the bill. The last payment she put down was like $500 in like 2022 or something. And this is the part where it gets scary because didn't she make a video that said, "I'm gonna stay in my house and this is my house and blah blah blah"? It's getting really scary for Kim Zolciak, and I hope she gets any type of help she needs. There is rumors of her having a gambling addiction. I hope she goes to Gambling Anonymous. Her and her husband getting divorced. Her husband's fighting for custody, and there was like rumors of her or him trying to kidnap. It's a mess. It's a big mess, and I think that they should quietly deal with this because every time it's mentioned, it's more headlines for them, and that could be very stressful. So I'm so sorry y'all going through that, but please, y'all got young kids, and kids who are very smart and they know how to work iPads and smartphones, and they could easily Google y'all and see this stuff. So y'all gotta chill out. Just chill out. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And before I go, I just do want to send some condolences and rest in peace. First, I want to send rest in peace to the friends and family of Brittany Joy from TikTok. I loved Brittany Joy. She was so funny. She's probably like 5 years older than me, but she was so relatable because she worked in corporate America. And she always expressed the feelings of, and I'm sorry if you guys hear like explosives and stuff. It's 4th of July weekend, and they just want to do all that. But she was so relatable, showing like people in my age group, how the emotions we go through before going to our corporate America jobs, and you know what I mean. She was just so funny, and it was so sad how she passed away. Her and her mother were, I think, leaving or on the way. They were in a car accident. I think leaving from a Juneteenth celebration. Her and her mother did, fortunately, lose their lives, but so rest in peace to them. I'm so sorry that has happened. Also rest in peace to Treat Williams. If you guys watched the WB or the CW in the early 2000s, you would remember this show called Everwood. And it's about a single father raising his son and his daughter in this town of Colorado. He was in it. I remember him being in it. He died in a motorcycle accident. So rest in peace, Mr. Williams. Rest in peace, Anna Shea. If you watched Bling Empire LA, she was like really a wealthy woman, but she was so low key with her wealth. I always liked her, but she did pass away of a stroke. So rest in peace to her. Rest in peace, Tina Turner. Rest in peace, Tina Turner. She was very sick the last 2 years. She passed away in Switzerland somewhere. And yeah, she passed away. I think they did her funeral and everything. I guess she didn't want all that. But she was 83 years old. So rest in peace, Queen. And lastly, rest in peace to Jackie O. She was the former Wild 'N Out girl and the partner to DC Young Fly. And the reason why I held her last because I was so disappointed about how people kind of commented on her death. She was a beautiful woman. I personally think she didn't need the mommy makeover. But what I mean by the comments is that people were saying that DC sacrificed her. Um, they mentioned how, they didn't have to sell plates to bury her. First of all, please stop with that so and so sacrifice. I don't believe in that stuff. And sometimes that stuff's very insensitive to the grieving family. Shut up about that. It's not all about Illuminati. Oh, so and Tom got killed. They sacrificed. No, Tom was shot by an asshole. That's what happened. They were not sacrificed. So, and then people are so not educated. And I was having this conversation with my best friend. People are not educated about health insurance. Okay, she was buried and had her funeral quick because she must have had a policy. That's what you get health insurance for. So your family can bury you and take care of whatever debt you have when you leave this earth, and it won't be lingering, and it won't go to probate court, or it won't say if um Helen married Mark and Mark dies and Helen is left with all this debt and Mark's unpaid credit card bills, and now Helen's got to go to probate court and all this junk, and it's stressing her out. That's what life insurance is for. So Helen won't have to stress about burying Mark. That's what life insurance is for. So Mark can have a nice funeral and don't have to sell God knows what on Etsy or fish plates or whatever. That's what life insurance is for. It's not about like just get a. It's fairly cheap to get one. So we all gotta go one day. So when it's that time for you to go to the stairways of heaven and purgatory, you're gonna be okay. Your family's gonna be okay. That is the meaning of life insurance. That's why we need to get out of that mentality of fish fries and sell this and sell like just that. She had a policy. She was a businesswoman. She had her own business. She had her own lip gloss. I think she had like a fashion line or something. She probably did. And very important. It's more important to get one when you have children, so that way when you die, your children are going to be taken care of. I really wish y'all would get out of that mindset. Just go talk to someone who has life insurance or who sells life insurance. I have a policy because I have so many health issues. And I just want to make sure everything's cool just in case, things do, God forbid, knock on glass and wood, that, things take a turn. I'll be okay. So stop with that, please. And rest in peace, Jackie. You are a beautiful woman, and just people are so ignorant. And that's all I'm going to say because I'm not going to let y'all run up my blood pressure. Thank y'all again for the YouTube support. You can like, share, subscribe. You can find me at Amanda Marie Thompson on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram, adashmariesonofthom. You can follow me on Twitter, adashmariesonofT. You can follow me on TikTok, Amanda Marty, as I do post when I drop new stuff. And thank y'all again for listening. And hopefully I could talk to y'all again before the summer's out. But if not, I love you and thank you for supporting. Bye.